Coming up on this episode of the Village Idiom.
Interesting. Do you know how long you need to brew Chinese black dragon tea?
No.
Ooh, long time. Village Idiom. Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that every single week chooses a popular saying to take a shallow but hopefully comedic or maybe interesting dive into its usage, its meaning, its origins. I have high hopes. But
I like
also,
how it's degrading.
It's like hopefully like
it should be comedic,
slightly better
if not
than
then
last
maybe interesting.
week.
Last week was a little rough. I don't know if we were just getting hit by the depression of the day, but it's a new day.
It is a new day. And either
Sun
way,
is
we
out,
will use
guns are
this
out.
saying to hang our otherwise directionless conversation on. My name is, what's my name?
Say my name, Slim Shady.
My name is Jurassic Mark.
Jurassic Park. It should be Slim Shady. My name's Skinny, but the reason it should be Slim Shady is you were actually...
Well, you're skinny, so you should be slim.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But you also, and the real Slim Shady, as in music, as in an Eminem type person, because you were actually on Music Awards this week.
I think we talked about it last week that I was supposed to
So
present an
exciting!
award. I was supposed to present an award. I was supposed to rap with another band.
Yes!
And that all got canceled because of Cloud-19.
I was harassing you about being a whapper.
That's right. And so what happened was
Home of the Whapper.
the awards show that I was supposed to be presenting an award on went online. So
Okay.
in the Junos, in the wake of everything, even the Junos just announced they're canceling it for this year. But the GMA Covenant Award, the very small, it's not the size of the Junos or the Grammys.
understand.
They decided to do an online thing. And so I registered. I wasn't a part of it. I was just going to watch. And kind of a new, interesting way to do an awards show anyway. The kind of new ground. Let's do it online. It had a Zoom feel to it, but it was a different program. And so registered, ready to go, and I get the phone call the day before. Jurassic Mark, one of the co-hosts, has fallen ill. Guess why?
No, so they got COVIDed?
I think... you know what? I didn't confirm the disease they captured.
Oh, man.
But would you step in? I'm like, yes, I would.
One person's misfortune.
So I was disappointed that I
no.
didn't get to perform or present, but I ended up hosting the whole show. So it was a real treat. I was literally on cloud nine just being asked. You know what? It wasn't without its
Is that
glitches.
today's idiom? On Cloud 9?
Cloud 9. Everybody's fighting Cloud 19. Don't breathe in Cloud 19. We're going to talk about Cloud 9. That is today's idiom. We're on Cloud 9. I was on Cloud 9, honestly.
But it's not today's idiom.
Cloud 9. What, did you prepare a different one?
I'm entirely on a different one.
Well, I'm prepared to do the idiom Cloud 9.
Are you kidding me? Are you messing with me
let
at
me,
all right
let
now?
me look at our conversation.
Well, I'd assumed that we bumped. Maybe
I thought we actually said we skipped.
Oh, man. So I'm prepared for Not My Cup of Tea.
I prepared for Cloud 9.
You'd think with only two of us, well, plus our production team, our videographer, our
Which is lessened,
person
and
who
we're
does
not allowed
sound.
to gather.
Yeah, we've scaled it down basically to just the two of us running everything.
Yeah.
Which is how it's been since the beginning.
It's what we had to do. And even if you're watching on YouTube, camera is like a magic wand because we're 2 meters apart right now. But on camera, I don't know what kind of lens you have on there. It looks like we're side by side at the regular studio spots.
Exactly.
So how do you want to handle this?
So you are doing Cloud 9. Let's do a mashup, and it just is what it is.
Or why don't you lead the whole thing, and I'll lead next week's.
Okay, sure.
You
Okay,
wanna do that?
Sure. Okay, I will just roll with what I have.
So I got no clips. I got our origin song.
Oh, well, okay. Well, you've got all the media to go with it.
Oh, so do you want me to lead?
No.
You lead?
Well, so Not My Cup of Tea. It's probably easier for you to bounce off of.
Sure.
It's Not My Cup of Tea.
I can bounce.
Because the origins are not good anyway.
I can bounce.
So yeah. So we'll get in on that. So let's just, in terms of getting the ball rolling and having half of us prepared, who is normally the more halved prepared. You're not a tea fan, or
No.
an iced tea fan.
Funny enough, I don't drink coffee. I don't drink tea. But last winter, I was performing at a Christmas musical thing, and I got sick, and the day is fast approaching. I was singing with people I hadn't sung before. I'm like, oh no, and I just started drinking tea just for my vocals, like,
Right.
and something happened, man. Like,
Really?
I think we might have talked about it last year, but
You
I'm
started
like,
liking it?
some of them, yeah. Like,
Interesting.
I could drink a chai tea, no problem. Anything that's
chai tea.
anything that's kind of girly, I could probably drink. Black tea, nah.
How about Tai Chi?
Huh? Funny.
Or Mr. T?
Tai chi, chai tea. What?
I know. Who knew?
Could you do Tai Chi while drinking chai tea?
You move slowly enough. It's not going to get cool by rapid movements, that's for sure.
Right.
But
Steeped.
yeah, I know it's like when we go out and we order things, you're like, I'm just like, so he'll have an iced tea.
Yeah.
Or when I offer you things, glass iced tea, you're just not an iced
No,
tea kind
that
of person.
like anything organic, like that's gonna remotely taste like lawn clippings. I'm just like, count
That's
me out.
chamomile. Chamomile tastes like a camel urinated on the plant, and then we drank that.
Camel.
Yeah, it's not good. I'm not a fan of chamomile. But in terms of like teas that are, I think are interesting, do you know how long you need to brew Chinese black dragon tea?
No.
Ooh, long time.
See, at least I know tea drinkers enough to know that oolong is a tea. Otherwise, I'd be like, yeah, how long? Oh, a long time.
Ooh, long time. So it's the Chinese black dragon tea, otherwise known as oolong.
Okay.
Which, just as I was going through tea-related stuff, it actually caught my fancy because I enjoy a cup of tea, and we have a tea cabinet in our house that is filled with varieties of tea.
So funny enough, we have a tea cabinet.
But you just don't drink it.
I just don't partake.
Maybe having your wife's influence in that area will drag you along on the tea one. So it was a interesting theory for the oolong, anyway.
Yeah.
Something in the Qing Dynasty, poems about the Wu Yi tea.
Okay.
From the Wu Yi mountain range, said to be that was the oolong tea from the Wu Yi mountain. Yes, I apologize. I'm not saying anything. Everything that comes out of my mouth, I'm feeling like sounds like I'm making fun of Chinese accents or something like that. I'm not.
You're just reading.
I'm just reading, and this is how that goes.
That's so funny.
So, and then another one is that it was. So that's the one theory, and the other one is the Anxi theory, that oolong tea had its origin in the Anxi oolong tea plant, which was discovered by a man named Wulong. Or Wu Liang.
You're not sure?
Well, this is just stuff on.
Well, it's like you said. What are the two names you just said?
Well, there's Su Long, Wu Long, Wu Liang. So I
Was
don't
that
know.
two names?
No, that's 3 names.
Oh, okay. I'm getting confused.
Yeah, on potential, and they cited these as possible origins, or that it was from this the Wuyi mountain range. But anyway, so that's like some little oolong tea trivia. So
Funny.
I know it all sounds horribly racist when I say it, but I was like, I'm trying here. That, oolong time.
So the one thing I said I was prepared for is the origin song. Are you totally into origins, or are you just still talking tea?
I'm just talking tea right now.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I feel like I missed my cue.
No. We're definitely we're not into origins, and normally you're the actual origins person and you do some research in that particular area.
Well,
and so if it's up to me today, origins is going to be about 15 seconds long. So yeah,
whatever.
But
It's not my cup of tea. It's yours.
It's not my cup of tea.
Here you go. This is how good I am.
Simply not my cup of tea.
You're pulling stuff up on the fly.
There you go. That's Gigi from 1958.
You're amazing.
Okay. Whew, I
Simply
feel like
not my
I've
cup of tea.
contributed.
So,
now.
well, within that, what do you think it actually means?
The way I use it is
usage.
just literally, for me, drinking tea is not my cup of tea. So
Right.
it's something I am disinterested in, so it's not my cup of tea.
Why do you suppose it landed on tea as a worldwide type phrase?
It's not
as
my
a-
jam. It's not
It's not my jam. Do some cultures not use jam, but they do use
Well, I
tea?
think jam is more current because I think that came from like the club. This is my jam.
When you say it like that.
I think that's where that came from.
But not my cup
It's
of
not
tea.
my. Is there any other way of saying it's not my? It's not my You could say the opposite. That's right up my alley. It's not right up my. No, you don't really say that, do you?
That's not up my alley. No, not so much.
That's not up my alley.
I hope not. That's gonna fit up my alley.
You know, I feel like I've said this before. I'm going to come back to the question you just asked, but you said chamomile, and my mom used to make her own chamomile tea. And literally, like, if she saw, every once in a while, you'll see like side of the road, no actual chamomile growing. It's a weed, I think.
It tastes like a weed.
And she would go grab some of that. And we'd bring home bunches of chamomile, and she would do whatever she did to make her own chamomile tea. We grew up in hard times.
Like, wow. Holy Depression era.
You guys just used to chew on
pull
lawn
over,
clippings
you
too.
Pull over, guys. Clip that. I'm going to make tea. People do dandelion tea, apparently.
Pine cone soup. Did you guys grow up on that?
No.
Maybe we did grow up hard times.
Things are really rough at Mark's house.
So anyway, going back to your question, that's how I think that's how it said. Like, it's not my cup of tea, so it's not my thing. I don't know anything. Like, or if you have a lack of knowledge in an area, like, hey, what do you know about the saying, "Not my cup of tea"? I don't know anything because it's not my cup of tea.
It's like all those specialities inside of dentistry.
That's my cup of tea. Speciality.
That's
my favorite.
What do you call a dentist who doesn't like tea?
Let me think about it. I don't know.
Dennis.
That's amazing.
So
Take me a second.
Not having these. When you go to the dentist and you're like, I would just like to get, okay, so they're good to clean you, but then it's like, we're going to need to send you to here to get this checked out. It's like, okay, but there's so many specialities.
Yeah. My dentist appointment is supposed to be tomorrow. Got canceled because of Cloud-19.
Mm-hmm. That's coming.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Dennis. That's actually. Did you make that up?
No.
Oh man,
it's funny when you're doing
good one.
when you're doing research on something and something pops up. It's like, so you're going through and different things because like oolong was Chinese origins, but like
maybe
the Americans' favorite tea is Liberty, and
hilarious.
so give me liberty, freedom, the Freedom Factory. Yeah, so all these like nonsense play on word teas that were
what maybe it came from like when I'm gonna go with it came like I literally know nothing about the origin, so this is an actual guess because of our screw up. I did no research, nothing, but I'm gonna go with like it came from like British immigration to the Americas, or maybe not. Maybe it started in in Great Britain, where it was just like there's so many different types of teas that you kind of glommed onto one as your tea, and so when you were choosing something else, you're like, it's not my cup of tea. What is your cup of tea?
You know what is your cup of tea is the origins of all of the things that we do on idioms.
Yeah.
And that's not my cup of tea. And so today's origins are like slim to non-existent.
Oh, whatever. We're still chitty chatting.
I would bet. So going
Do you actually have a favorite tea?
Oh, see, so the one that we enjoy
I have a favorite
at our
auntie.
is a birthday cake.
What?
I know. It's one of those David's tea special ones.
Oh, okay.
But it has like confetti and whatnot in it. So it has like
paper confetti.
Not so good at the bottom. At the bottom, it's just a.
Here, read my tea. Read my tea leaves. Read my tea.
Is that paper mache?
Confetti.
Yeah. Ooh. So it has like pre-sweetened sprinkles in it.
Okay, this is a weird question, but
Sure.
just because you said confetti, what is streamers? Is that crepe paper? Is that the same stuff?
Yes.
Such a weird question. Have you ever tasted crepe paper or streamers?
They dissolve into nothing.
But have you ever tasted it?
No.
I'm bringing one in next week. It has nothing to do with next week's idiom.
We're
but just
tasting
to be
crepe paper.
continued, you have to taste this stuff because it is shocking. And apparently non-toxic.
I'm thinking one of those things is true and one of them is not.
Let's just say if it's toxic, I've tried it enough times.
There you go. That explains a few things. Yeah, so and that's in that same vein, I know you have your American origins. Liberty.
Yeah.
So are you a fan then of the sweet tea?
No.
Oh man.
I am not a fan of cold tea.
Or hot tea.
So sweet tea is what we just call iced tea, right? Here.
Well, so ours is pre-sweetened.
Yeah.
but America tea.
So America, if you just say iced tea,
You're
actually pretty much everywhere you're getting sweet tea now. But it used to be.
You have to add. Do you want sugar? Like
Yeah, if you just order iced tea, it's just cold tea.
Cold tea.
Yeah, you have to say sweet tea. But I think most places are the preferred drink is sweet tea nowadays. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I know it's different. Cold tea. You want iced tea? Sweet tea? Sweet tea? Iced tea? My mom, again, used to make her own iced tea. Every time I tell a story, I feel like I grew up on Little House on the Prairie. Like she would just like
when she was doing preserves and
sun tea. She did
pickles.
That too. She did all that.
She was a jarring kind of canning lady.
Yeah, a little bit. She would make sun tea and put tea bags and lemons in a big giant mason jar and just leave it outside in the sun in the summer.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And she would.
Back to the origins.
Maybe that's why I hate iced tea.
Back to the fake origins that we're making on the fly.
Yeah.
So think about that in terms of like the British are known and love their tea.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of great teas that come out of India, and so perhaps because of that whole imperialistic.
Oh yeah.
Like
colonialism
taking over places and absorbing cultures and all
Start
that.
trading of spices and whatnot.
There you go.
Oh.
'Cause the often like Chinese green tea is a real big thing, and so you get your whether it's the green tea or the oolong, and then you have your Indian teas. But perhaps there's something in there.
So there
in the initial like colonization or like Hong Kong because of Hong Kong and Britain, and then India and Britain.
Yeah,
I would bet it all floats back to the British.
Maybe, but there's probably
because it's worldwide.
There's probably just distinct teas, whether it was called that or not, worldwide.
So
like, is there any...
But because they loved the teas and they were colonial with how they approached the world.
That they went to India, said, you see this thing you can do? This is what you can do.
That's because it's a worldwide deal. Yeah.
So is there any...
So that's why it's not my cup of tea. It could be like a global idiom.
Oh. Is there any tea native to here? Or let's say North America?
Was native to here. That caught my funny.
What?
Just I don't know because native.
I don't mean native. Like
I know
Aboriginal, but I mean, did it originate here?
I don't know.
Like Canadian goose feather tea, or what a bird's nest? Oh, that's soup. Bird's nest, is that tea or soup?
Soup.
What's the difference? Temperature?
I guess if you take something and boil it and juices come out, is that now tea?
If it's hot, if it's hot, it's soup. If it's cold, it's tea. No, that doesn't work either.
No, do we have anything that's a great like a mulberry or some sort of Ceylon
probably
plant?
Some pine tea.
Yeah, I don't know. There's got to be a North American tea.
Yeah, I remember my dad talking about when he was in college. They did a pine tea raid in the girls' dorm. So they must have. They were
running up pine teas up the flagpole.
Yeah, they're big pine tea drinkers.
Oh yeah, that generation loved the pine teas. Oh dear.
This is what happens. You know what? For you listening, watching, whatever, right before we press record today, Skinny's like, let's just have fun today. Let's make this a fun one. Then we get on the air. Which one did you prepare?
Well, normally wouldn't even think about it. And with the distancing all week, and you
have been away. Yeah, I've been away preparing for the proper one.
We literally talked for not even 5 minutes.
No.
This week,
There's a couple text messages, but not about what we were doing.
Anyway, that's not our speciality.
No. Okay, well, do you want to get into origins with whatever you have, or did you hit it?
Oh, yeah, let's do it. Let's get into some origins.
Oh man, see, I'm like sitting here, trigger finger, ready to.
I'm ready for the origins. Bring it on.
Ready, trigger finger, to play this to it. This has happened the last few times. Maybe it's something in the file that
origins
is hurting me, but
I said some words. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind. Origins.
So why do people do that when they're drinking tea?
The pinky?
Why does the pinky go
out?
Get jutted?
Is it just because teacups are different than coffee mugs in that there's nowhere for your pinky to go?
Well, you could still hold it like a glass.
It's hot.
Well,
that's why there's a handle.
But you don't do that in a hot cup of coffee.
Because the handle's bigger.
Isn't it?
You got 3 fingers in a, like, if you're holding 3 fingers in a coffee mug, your pinky can't even go out. If anything, it's going to be touching the hot mug. But 1 finger in a little teacup, I don't know.
I think,
Pinky goes up.
yeah, that's shocking.
Yeah.
But having more.
If there's got to be a cup in between. If you get 2 fingers in the handle,
Not a coffee mug and not a tea.
hot chocolate mug, 2 fingers in and the pinky out.
Having, but it's one of those funny things. I don't know. Maybe is it just considered dainty?
Dainty,
And not Danish tea.
Danish tea.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's is it an official thing though, or does it just happen? That's the question.
I don't know, but you can have a cold cup of iced tea, and you just grab it by just below the rim there, and you hold it up, and you still do that.
Right.
You don't like manhandle it with.
No, because it's tea. There's elegance.
Maybe it's just refined things. Your pinky has to go out.
Right. Like think of
Like
refined
sugar and
things,
flour.
and your pinky is never included. Like bowling. You don't bowl with your pinky. And what is more elegant and refined than bowling?
That's pretty redneck, right?
You want to do something fancy tonight?
Let's go out in the alley. Woo!
I like the way your pinky hangs out.
Bing, 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 ding, 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 ding.
Derailed. Okay, what do you got?
Okay, in a literary work by James Agate published in 1939, he said, "For assuredly, immersion in medieval legend is not my cup of tea."
Okay. What was the date of that?
1939.
Oh, it's got to be older than that.
Yeah, that would be where you would normally jump in and start saying, I would say, this is probably the oldest thing I found, and then you go, oh, it goes way before then.
I'm guessing, though. This will be our first episode where there's a fact check follow-up next week.
Yeah, this is the
Well, that's pretty old. I'm just saying it
1939.
seems
it's not really
like...
old in terms of tea.
Right.
And so, you know the answer to this. Why is Mr. T Mr. T?
Like, why is he called that?
Yeah.
Well, I do know the answer to this because I used to be a really big fan of Lawrence Turode.
There you go.
So his last name is Turode, and there's a bunch of interesting things about him in his heyday. So he was a bouncer. He was a Christian. So like off screen, he was actually a really gentle guy, did a lot of work for children and sort of the more rural parts of his hometown and whatever. But all the gold chains was representative of the slave days and just saying black men will not be in chains anymore. If they are, they're going to be gold.
Interesting.
His mohawk was not a mohawk. It was from the Mandinka tribe. And I can't remember why he was honoring them, but I think it had to do with his ancestral roots going back to the Mandinka tribe. And he officially changed his name to Mr. T so that the white man and no one can call him, there was derogatory terms back in the day where African Americans would just get called boy. He's like, I will not be called boy. You will call me Mr.
Mr. I love it.
I am Mr. T.
That is the best tea origin.
Right? There you go.
Let's just go with that. See? Even when you're making up stuff.
I'm not making that
That's
up.
true.
That's
but
all
like
true,
it's,
yeah.
or ad-libbed or...
But
you know what I'm
he was
no scripted.
even though he always played the tough guy, he was gentle across the board and quite stuck with his Christian beliefs. Even the A-Team, if you watch the A-Team, 1 million machine gun firings and car explosions. He demanded, because the show was built for him, he demanded that if there was any explosions or shooting, that you would see even the bad guys crawl out and like, whoa. And
no one gets killed.
No one gets killed, which is why he makes no appearance in the more recent movie, because he's like, same stipulations, no swearing, no nudity, no deaths. And then I'll make a cameo. And they're like, no, Mr. T.
Well, there you go. I actually haven't seen the new movies.
It's good, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's a couple cameos, but not him. Anyway, that's my cup of tea, Mr. T.
You love that tea.
I had the posters. I still have right in that locker over there. I have the entire collection, which was only of 3. The A-Team comic book series.
I have a fun A-Team related story. It's so ridiculous, but it cracks me up. So my out of office email autoresponder.
Yeah.
I had as like, I can't take your message, right now. I'm in an underground what I'm trying to just recollect the gist of it. I've been accused of a crime that I didn't commit.
Oh, I remember. I did read that.
And so I did my whole like little
Your
autoresponder
solo version of the A team.
I was the solo
and if
A
you
team.
can find me,
Yeah. Then I'll get back to you on Monday.
yeah.
All of that sort of thing. Well, I got a message from a lovely old lady who I ran into while I was away, and so she had messaged me in the week.
I thought it was real.
and then ran into me while I was in the States, and she ran into me. She's like, "And I'm really sorry. I heard about what you're going through."
No.
I'm like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, that crime that you didn't commit that you're in trouble for.
No way.
Yeah, I'll tell you off camera who it was, but
That's phenomenal.
it was the most amazing use of an autoresponder ever. The crime I didn't commit. Oh, it just still brings joy to my heart. Oh, well, anyway. Well, without all the extras and fiddles and diddles, we should probably just head right into the end here.
Well, I have
It's not really my cup of tea.
I have no riddle-ink. So
That's okay.
You'll have to give me one and save one.
I have two. So let me roll down here into my riddling. You want the easier one? Or you want the harder one? I'll give you the harder one, and then
Okay.
they can speed run into it. The capital of Nepal is Black Dragon Tea.
Oh man, so oolong, right?
The capital of Nepal is Black Dragon.
I don't know the capital of Nepal. Black Dragon Tea is oolong tea. I think you said that earlier.
I did.
Oolong, ool. Ooh?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kaboolong tea.
No.
Ooh. Kathmandulong tea?
Yes. It was a little harder, but thought you could stretch it. Kathmandulong tea. Kathmandulong tea.
I love that. Okay, so you're going to leave one for everybody?
Yeah, but
Before you do that, tell everybody how they can get a hold of us.
well, you can reach us on Instagram at the.village.idiom or on email at thevillageidiompodcast@gmail.com, or whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter at 3 Minutes Gone.
Nice.
Let's we'll head out with this.
Okay.
All right, I'm just rereading it.
Yeah, make sure it's spelled right.
Yes, exactly. Well, I see. I when you're going through and you say part of it during it, and then you're like,
Oh, I can't
that's
say that.
cheating.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cheating.
yeah. I
All
do
right,
know
all
what you
right.
mean.
So I just need one brief moment. Quickly tell me another Mr. T trivia.
Okay, well, let's see. Mr. T also was
Got it.
okay, Clubber Lang.
Nice. Wow, you're going Rocky.
That's my favorite.
Oh, it made me forget what I just wrote down.
I'll tell you my favorite
favorite.
Mr. T story.
All right.
While you figure that out. So, Rocky 3, I don't know what year that came out, but I remember going to see that in the theater, and it was like we were at a fight. I feel like we've talked about this before, but literally the audience in the theater, jam-packed theater, I don't know if it was opening weekend or what, standing on our feet, chanting with the movie crowd, Rocky,
Wow.
on our feet, chanting, pumping our fists in the air. It's just like, what?
That's
Where
awesome.
am I?
Right.
Yeah.
You're like there. That's like active.
It was amazing.
Cool. I don't really enjoy that short-armed dinosaur.
I don't really enjoy that short-armed dinosaur.
I don't really enjoy that short-armed dinosaur.
I like it.
Well, we've enjoyed putting today's episode together. We hope you've enjoyed listening to it.
Putting it together.
I am Skitty.
Assembling it on the fly, you mean?
Whatever. I'm Skitty.
I am Jurassic. Oh, I don't know. Oolong. Mark.
And these are the Village Idioms.
Cup of tea? Cup of tea, Teddy?
That's 3 minutes gone.